Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be going through my finished pages. This is just a small pile. According to my records, I colored in 32 books, did colored 40 pages. I didn't finish any coloring books, but I am on the verge of finishing one. I only have 2 pages left in one of the books, so I didn't put any links down. I'm doing this pretty much on the fly. So you'll notice that I have a small pile of books here, but I have more over here. So I wanted to be able to. And I did some cleaning today. Hi. So I did some cleaning before I did the stream, so I could make the room accessible. Also, my mother wanted me to hook up the printer and do that, so I had to get the cords, of course. Do a little bit of cleanup over the last few days. Plus, I'm now working again. It's only 3 days a week, but I am working, so that's one of the reasons why I didn't get as much coloring done. You know, then over here it's kind of like if you want to shop for groceries, you have to shop a little early in the morning, and the heat takes a lot out of you. Right now it's an overcast day, so I'm doing it a little bit early so I can catch the better light than I normally do. So the first book we colored that I have on the pile, I'm not doing this in any particular order, just so anybody who has questions. This is called Color in Oceans Mermaids by Daria Caprisoy. She was also known as Color in Chicks. So I did this one. This one I did with markers. Actually, this blue ran out on me, as you can tell over here. Like up close on camera, it doesn't look that bad, but on person can tell the marker was fading. And this green, this was the green. This green I used, I'm now out of this green too. So I used up a lot of my markers this month. I don't have empties to show you because I just don't have the room. So I did this one. I haven't even posted this one yet. So that's one of the ones that I did. Then some of you know this is a brand new book. I got this because I have all the other books. So I didn't have five. I don't have book six and I do not have book seven. So it's just because other things going on. And I realized then I had to order paper today. I had to order some ink for the printer because I haven't used it in a while. So it probably dried up the ink because I just tried printing. And this one is Vampire. So I did this with markers, various markers, and Copic, some of my, what are they called? My Mythomorphia markers or whatever they're called. My budget friendly markers. I did this with both Copics and budget friendly because I'm out of skin tones. I'm going through my budget friendly markers. I pretty much think I'll be done by the end of this month with my budget friendly set. So we'll be back to using Copics exclusively probably in the marker set. So we did this one, and I also did this for Color Your Mood, September 2022. So you know that one. Then I did an Alice in Wonderland one. I finally finished this. This was like an uncompleted one in the book. So I actually decided to finish it. I don't remember what markers I started with, but was like almost done. It just was like the background had to be done. So that's what I did. I used the background to finish it up. So that's what I did in that one. Then the next one is Chibi Horror by Jade Summer. I like this one. I like the pictures in this one. I had a book that was, I think, the same pictures, but I think it might have gotten lost because I can't find my Gothic Christmas by Deborah Mueller either. So that one might have been one of the ones that got lost. Somewhere my books get lost, but then I find them when I'm not looking for them. How many of us have that happen? We look for books and then we can't find them. So I did this one, Girl in the Straight Jacket. I actually had a different color background, but the marker did not work. It was all dried up. So I tried to find a color that was originally similar, but then I was like, you know what? I'll just make it a darker color rather than a lighter color. It turned out to be really actually work really well, so I like that one. Plus, I get to see a lot of these I did. So I did this one. I think I had a book. I think I had this. I think I had originally this book in line art, but when you color in grayscale, it actually comes out a lot better. Hello, the second person in chat. Then this one, I never colored in this one. I actually had a hard time finding out what this book's name was. This is Chinese. Hold on, I have my book to remember what the name of this is. I have a little book that tells me what I did. The name of this book is Chinese Woman Dressed in Han Dynasty. It's a Chinese coloring book. I probably got it off of either 70s books or Coolcraft. originally because this is one of my older Chinese coloring books. So I did this one, and this counted for Color Your Award. Actually came out really nice. I don't know why, but some of my Chinese coloring books, they're not coming out as nice, and because I didn't never finish them, they're gonna all look all weird in one of the books. So that's in the Ancient Princess one. Probably gonna come out looking all weird in that book. So then I colored 3 images in this. I was like working simultaneously in 3 images in this one. So this one is a length by the Angel Detlef. So this is the first one. I've been working on this one for a while, on and off. So I keep working on this one. And I was working in this one on and off as well. So I finally finished that one. I don't remember what pencils I started with this, but I know I finished them with Prisms and Polys. This one I did with Black Widows. At least I think I did the hair and this red part over here in Black Widows, but everything else was done in Prisms and Polys. So I really like doing this one. That one was a good one. Cupid Cuties by Depository. This was like one that I just found and just picked from random. Sometimes we know we have those random books that we just pick from. I think Deborah Mueller's Girls are adorable. This book is adorable. I like it because you don't have to do this at Valentine's Day. You can actually do this any time of the year. You can also make her books as gothic and as dark as you want. This may be a book that I eventually finish. Now this book, I think I only have 2 more pages left to do, and I did this one. This one is Dolly. I tried to do with the gel pen. As you can tell, my gel pen kind of ran out. Didn't do well. So I only have this one left to do. And this one left to do. Those are the only 2 left that I have to do in this one. So that is the first pile. Books. So I will get the next pile out and about. Okay, the next pile. Oh, my thing here. My piles are always very, very heavy. So that's the next pile. Remember, it was last month was like I had a big coloring surge. This month I didn't have this big a surge, but I think that was because there were a lot of adjustments. So I did this. This is Cottage Dreams, Osselman and Ed Tops by Colorful Moments. Now I had a hard time getting this book because I bought this off a book depository. But here's the thing: it's a smaller book. But the problem was every time I tried to buy it, it sold out. Then it came back. It was kind of an annoying purchase. So then I did this one with different pencils. So it actually came well weird looking in camera when I took a photo. Then this is one that I'm working on right now. So I really like how this is coming out. So I'm working on this one right now. I hope everybody likes this one. It's that one. Then I did The Art of Mandala by Jason Hamilton. Now, I started this one off with gel pens. You guys can actually see the gel pens, but they're in the middle. If you go up close, you can see the gel pens a little bit. Those were the new ones, and then I started doing it with marker because, I'm also on the goal to finish the Mandala books, at least my Jason Hamilton ones as well. That's one of my goals this year. So, as you can tell, I'm just filling in the blanks, and then when I'm done with it, I'll probably, I don't know if I'm going to keep it or not. I'm like 50-50 on the small Mandala books because, they're small, but everything is about saving space. I'm not going to keep all my finished ones. Like anything that I know in the heart, I already made the vow. If it's a hardcover book, I'm not keeping it. If it's a Jade Summer book, I'm not keeping it either. Because I have so many Jade Summers as it is. So, plus I really love the way the images came out. Like I love this one. Now when I colored him first, and I'm like thinking I actually was like thinking, how am I going to color the Grim Reaper? And instead, I made him look like Skeletor from He-Man and Masters of the Universe. Who remembers that 80s cartoon, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe? That's what was the inspiration for the Grim Reaper. I made him look like Skeletor, and that was not my intention. But then I realized I needed a background when I did this because it didn't come out exactly the way I intended to. As you can see, there's some streaks because the markers were running out. So. And then I contrasted her with him with a brighter color. So I thought that was a great way to do it. And I did this with Copics and my Memoirs, which are my budget-friendly markers. If someone asked me, am I getting another set of budget-friendly markers? I do not know. depends on the price and, you know, circumstances of how much supplies I have. Then I did this one, Gorgeous Fantasy Coloring Book by Doria Caprasoy. So I don't have many left in this one either, so I did this one. Like I had seen someone do like a yellow and red and orange combo with their things, and so I decided to try that. And I really like the way it came out. So the number of pictures I have left in this one, I really like this one too. If you ever see it, the picture comes out with her with brown hair. So I have 1 in here, 2 in here, 3 in here, 4, 5, 6, 7 pictures left in here. There is the possibility that I could finish this book too. So, when I do these books, I tend to sometimes try to do the pile in a way that is organized. Sorry, I like to see my Color in Heavens together and my Jade Summers together. So let's do the Jade Summer. Kawaii Grayscale Coloring Book. I did this one. I just could not resist this one. I think I did this picture once before. I love Jade Summers, but I think I did this one very differently last time. And I made the unicorn pink. I always like making my unicorns different colors, not the traditional white one. But I also like that I made her hair red, so when you come across, like, and I made the unicorn's hair purple, so I could differentiate what was the purple and what was the not purple. And I just decided to make her plain blue outfit, because I knew the grass was going to be green, and I didn't want the dress and the leaves to conflict and be like that color, so I did that one. As you can tell, I gave it an autumn background. I just like orangey and yellows right now. For some weird reason, I like doing the backgrounds like that. Then we did The Witches by Mythomorphia. A lot of you have seen this picture. Online, a lot of you like this. I decided to make it somewhat dark and somewhat light. I wanted to do, you know, I didn't want it to be too dark because if you look at this picture, this is the picture that they have on the front. But I decided I wanted to do something a little bit different and do something a little bit lighter. So I thought that was a good way to do it. This is actually a good book. The Mythomorphia's books are really, really good. And I really, really like them. Next books are The Color in Heavens. We all know how much Joyce loves her Color in Heavens. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm going to show you something I got, and I did buy it. If anybody's interested in seeing this. Now, how many of you know what this is? Now, I bought these from Enabler's Outpost. These are called Hachette. They are actually diamond painted wax. This is Horror Spice, which is really a nice scent. But I think my favorite out of all the scents is Apple Orchard. And then Snickerdoodle. So those are the ones I got. Snickerdoodle, Apple Orchard, and Horror Spice. So you guys know that I do diamond painting, but I'm not going to do that till everything is finally set up. And then, you know, me and my mother can have a different space. You know, this is only a temporary space, so remember that. So then I did something in Fairy Special. I did this one. I believe there was another one I did. I did this one. I believe we did this one. Did we do this one on camera? I believe we may have done a live stream. Oh, I did this one on camera. A lot of you haven't. I don't think a lot of us have seen this one, which I really like this one too. So one of these I did on stream. I don't remember which one, but it was a really nice book. I love the paper in this book. This might be one of my favorite issues of Color in Heaven. As you can tell, I still have to finish this one. Hi, Christy. How are you? I still have to finish doing her skin, her wings, the bubbles, and probably the backgrounds in the middle. So there's still stuff to do on her. And she is like one of those pictures that I did from the old house. So I got to figure out how I'm going to finish her. If anybody has any ideas. So, you know, I did some cleaning too. before I came on, so I will probably write the links down. The Color in Heavens, I buy magazines through their website. So this one I did it in pencil and some gel pens, I believe, but I did it mostly in pencil. I really did not like the way it came out. It came out looking messy. It looks better on camera than it does in person, so, you know, like so many of other things. And then I did this one. Some of you may have seen this online. And then there is the one that I'm working with, the teddy bear and the bat and the pumpkin. Let me show you what I'm working on. I might finish this off. See, I did this in pencil, but I might finish doing the rest of this in marker. Maybe, perhaps. Just because I like the way that marker works better on some of the papers. I like it better on marker, but tendency you can use pencils in the Color in Heaven books, but to me I like using markers better. But that's just a personal decision. It's not a thing saying one is better than the other. This is my personal preference. Halloween special, issue number 34. This is an old one. For my older book, I did this one. I originally did this in pencil, and then some of the stuff I went over with marker. Now, if you go into that, be very careful. Like, prismas are great, but if you put markers over prismas, they absorb the marker. And let me show you what I mean. Like the roses, you can tell there isn't much bleed through, but that was because I laid pencil down first on the marker, on the roses. So you see, they still bled a little bit, but they didn't bleed as much as they would normally on the paper. It's something I learned from watching someone else. Someone did that, and I can't remember who did that. And then we did this one by Carissa Rose, which was the skull. A lot of you love this on Instagram. This one is on Instagram. Right? So I like the magazines, but sometimes I'm like, they have an artist in there that I don't particularly like their thing, especially when they do multiple artists. And yes, I'm waiting on the new issue to come out. So when the new issue comes, now this was probably my oldest Color in Heaven book. This is Goddesses and Mythology Special. This is issue number 22. This is probably the oldest Color in Heaven I have. It's probably when I started collecting it. So then I did this one in colored pencils. I started this a long time ago, and then I just decided to finish. This book I have a lot of whips in. I did this one. Like, let me show you. This one. I'm kind of lost what I'm going to do with the little dots here because it's not finished. So I got to figure out what I'm doing with this one. Because this is one of those projects that I start, I stop. As you can tell, it's marker based. This one too is a whip in progress. I did a lot of this in colored pencils as well. So I have a whip in there. And this is a lot of what I've done in this book. Some of it's marker, some of it's colored pencil. I'm looking to see if I have any other whips. This is a whip too. I'm probably going to make her hair blonde, but they're going to make me make it brown because of the way the color scheme works. I'm just saying, that's just something that they're going to do there. Sometimes you got to figure out what you want to do with a picture before you can color it. Like this one, I'm going to have problems with the skin tone, so I might do this one in just the skin and that. This was when I started and never finished. I got to figure out if I'm going to do it in a lighter blue, darker blue, a purple, green, and red, just to figure out what I want to do. Because this is the problem when you start a page. I've done several versions of this picture in her other books, so because I've had a lot of Selena Finette books over the years. That's this one. Then there's this one. I don't remember what color hair this is. I might go over his hair with marker just to eliminate the color. You can tell. This is the problem when you start a picture and you don't exactly remember what you did. Skin tone will be easy for me. Then there's the unicorn. the 3 fates. Just showing you some of the things that are in these older coloring heavens. A lot of people don't. I know a lot of people don't show their older coloring heavens. So that's the other one. This might be my oldest issue, and I think it was my first one. So I actually might keep this coloring heaven because it has a special place in my heart. And I will post links down below. The Color in Heaven magazines, I get them usually on one side, or I get them through that. So this one is Halloween Special, issue 66. And I did this one completely in pencil. I do not like the way this colored at all. I do not like it. I think this is my fail. I do not like the hair. I don't like the way the skin tone came out on this. I just don't like this picture overall. And that's a funny thing. Sometimes, you color something and you're like, I don't like it. And this is Tabitha by Dawn Davison. I just don't like the way this came out. I think it's nice, but it's not one of my favorites that I've done. Now I'm going to go get the next pile out. I did not get to do a Hannah Lynn. I did not make every goal this month, so I feel sad about that. Now, a lot of you know this is a brand spanking new book. This was not in my haul last time because it hadn't arrived yet, so a lot of you haven't even seen this in the collection. It's brand new, and I did something for Color Your Hoard. This is called Happy Halloween. This is the newest book to the collection. I have 1, 2, 3 more books coming. Maybe a fourth if the new Clara Markova books arrive. So, I have to probably put money aside for the Clara Markova book because I love Clara Markova. I always spend whatever I need to spend on that, but I want to try and be conservative with that. Keep it real, which I thought was funny. I used markers on this. Some Prisma for the happy. I used the Prisma, and the blood. I used the Prisma. Green in the eyes were colored pencil, so everything else was markers. And the spider web here, the red, that was a gel pen. So was the Keep It Real gel pen as well. So I want everybody to be aware that I do use these things. So that you can use pencils on this, but markers tend to work better, I find, on the I find that markers work better when you color in the coloring books. That's just my personal opinion. I know some people color with everything. Mermaids by Barbara Lanza. I did this one in markers, completely in markers. As you can tell, my markers were fading in some of these areas. So I've been in the areas where they're fading, I then switched to some of my Copics. So this might be a book I finish. I'm not entirely 100% sure because I do it, I stop, I do it, I stop. This book has both pencil and marker in it. See, this is one of my finished ones, and I really do like it. The finished copy of this one. That's one of my favorites from the book, so that one. Fantasia. We did the Medusa. And I did the Medusa very differently. Now, I've seen people do this with greens. I've seen a rainbow color one, but I don't think I've seen one with pinks and purples. And this color is a gray lavender. Even though on camera it comes across as a gray. I wanted to keep up with the theme of it. So a lot of you know that I don't get to work in the Livvestream books all that often. So most of the time you see me work in the other one, Serene. But I didn't get a chance to work in that one. Then I finally finished this. Last month you saw a whip, or at least the start of a whip from Fairytale Princess coloring book by Mystic Art Mirrors. Now I originally got this book on her Etsy shop, so I will probably put a link down there. So if anybody wants to get her books are awesome. I just hooked up my printer, so I think the bell came out really nice. I like this a lot. And someone told me I should have made it yellow, but I'm like, no, I like the way that comes out. It comes out more like a fairy tale. Now, this is cute and creepy. I did this. I finally finished this one double page spread. Did this like this. I tried to keep the hair as much as possible, and I did the hair with Black Widows. Everything else was Polys and Prismas. So I try to keep the color combination. You see this one. Now this is one that I'm currently working on. I'm not totally finished with the page. I still have to do the blue, get the blue background in there. So, and I'm using a Prisma for the blue background, but I'm not totally done with it. This is a whip and this is a whip. And then I got to figure out, and when I color in this book, if I do the backgrounds, I got to be careful because they seem to seep through. As you can tell, they seep through the color there. So when you have the backgrounds, they don't seep as much, but you still got to put a piece of paper when you color into this book. I don't know why, but it seems to happen to me more often than not. You guys saw this one. So this is a book where I think I'm going to get a lot done this season in this book. This is one of the books that I'm probably going to be working a lot in next month. I see myself working in this book a lot because it's Halloween, along with the Colotrf book. Now, this is Fairytales. This is 2 pages I did in this one. I finished this one. I have the same problem in this one that I have in Cute and Creepy. So I got to put a page in between, and then I did this one as well. So this one was done. And then I'm in the works in progress in this one. So this is one of the ones that I'm currently doing a whip in. As you can see, it's every time I do it, there's more stuff to it that gets done. So it's not like I don't want to. It's just that there's a lot of little details in this book. And then there's this one that I'm still doing. So that's that one. Then I started this one. So started this one. So there's a couple of pages in here. I still got to finish this one, the wallpaper. But as you can tell, I've done a lot of things in this book. So this book has a lot of whips in it. That's what I call my whip book. And then I did this one. This one has a lot of whips, but I have the same problem. These are the problem books where they bleed through. So I did this. Finished it in this Romantic Country, the third tale. So I have this problem, same problem where everything leaks. So I put a page now in between when I color the background. So as long as I color a background in it, it should be good. But this one I'm trying to finish as well. But let me show you what happens with this one. You guys can't see it, but there's a lot of bleed through. So I'm going to have to either try and figure out what glue I use for this. So I can finish this one and then I can probably try and fix them as best I can. And I have this one I'm working on. This is the Ever Whip book. Then I put this in yellow so I wouldn't bleed as much through. This too, I have to figure out what I'm doing with the rest of this page and what colors I used. Now I don't know what brown this is. That's a shame because I got to figure out what brown I used in it to make that color. Then I have this page. So I have a lot of whips in this one too. So that's what you call the whips pile. Then comes the final pile. This is going to be shorter because it's not like 60 books like I normally do. This is what we call the big pile. You guys can tell I do a lot of work in my books. So, yay! This is the final part. This is going to be a shorter stream than normal. So depending on what I do. This is called 50 Splendid Princesses by Kameliya, Angelkova. Then I did this one. I thought she came out really pretty. I like this one. That's a really nice one. You can tell I have a thing for doing Kameliya. We all know we got to do at least one Kameliya. And then I did something from one of my older books that I don't really touch that often because it's one of the bigger books. So this should have gone over here. I don't know why this went in the wrong place. But I did this one, which is the Chinese Garden. I didn't do a background. I have the same problem that I have in other books. For whatever reason, I do that. Then I think this is World Fairytales or Fairytales of the World book. And then I did this one. This is the double page spread. So with theory books, now knowing what I know, I try to do this. I'm trying to do this book in order, so I did this one. But because I know the pages bleed through, I always put a page behind now in these books. So I'm doing this one. I'm also doing this one as well. I forget the brown I used in that, but that's okay. because I'll find the brown that I used in that, which is probably a poly. Then we did Girl Power by Hachette Heroes, and I did this one. I think this is Rapunzel, and I did it in sunflowers and things that I like in general. As you guys can tell, I have a theme for this one. Yeah, that was Rapunzel. My nieces wanted me to do a Rapunzel pick, so I did a Rapunzel pick for them. So then I did one Kerby pick. Yay, I did a Kerby pick. And I did the front page. I know there's a bigger version of it, so I decided to do this page from Mythomorphia. I know a lot of people like Grace doesn't do Kerby pictures. Then I have this page, and then I have this page. Then I just, I do little by little in Kerby's books. So then there's this page I did. So there's some pages here that just. Then I have this one, which I started a long time ago. I start and finish this, so it's kind of like a start and finish one for me. This is an old one. I no longer have these gel pens for the lanterns. I got to figure out the colors I used in this one. Same thing for this one. So it's all a matter of figuring out what you do and didn't do. At least try to make them match as much as possible. This was why when you do coloring books or you do a Kerby pick, you put down a little note to yourself what you used, so you don't end up in a situation like I did. I think I did this a long time ago on stream. This, I got to figure out what I did here. At least try to match it. And then our final book, which I'm also doing this book in order too, which is called Fairytales Magic. I finally finished this picture. As you can tell, I write down the dates. But if you come up in the back of this, you have to put a page down so it doesn't bleed all over. And I did that on September 11th, 2022. Yeah, and so as you guys can see, I started working on this one a little bit. So that is the end of all my colored pages. I know it's not a very long stream today, but I thought you guys would like a little stream. I know there's a lot of books, and I am looking forward to getting the new Klara book. I do have 2 books coming from Amazon. I think I have the Yoda book coming. What is the Yoda book by Morgan O'Brien coming? The Way Home. I have a Stranger Things coloring book coming. The next time my brother visits me, or I visit him, I'll get my Sarah Richter book. Right? So that's that. And then I'm waiting on the new Clara Markova book when I can finally get to order that. I have some colored pencils coming, but basically they're just refills of polychromos pencils that I need and Prisma pencils that I was like, I tell you, I had them down to nib some of my Prismacolors, and I didn't have replacements for them. So that is what is upcoming. So is there any books that you guys would like to see me work on camera with? Because plus I have to get more ink. I had to order new ink for the printer, paper. I just set the printer up. So plus I'm doing new color charts probably for my colored pencil, so I can have a better chance of figuring out what I need when I run out of it. So because when I was looking for my polychromos, I realized I didn't have a portable chart on the books like I did for my Prisma. So I had to go and find an online chart, which I did. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this stream, and remember to give it a thumbs up. Everybody stay healthy and safe. I know it's not as many books as I normally have, but remember, there were a lot of changes this month. Over the last few months, there's been so many changes. I got a new job, I moved, I had to unpack, I had to redo things, cleaning. Over here in California, it's very, very hot. And I tell you, when it gets hot, it gets hot. It's not like normal hot up here. So it's like the heat, if you're out and you get hit by the heat, it's like it sucks your energy out. So I hope everybody has enjoyed this stream. Everybody stay healthy, stay safe. And remember, I probably will color more next month. If there's a book that you guys want me to color, leave it in the comments down below, and I'll see what I can do if I have the book. If I do not have the book, remember, I do have a wish list. I will post that wish list up later after I go through all the books and post the links, because I actually didn't post the links before the stream to the book. So everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and remember to be good to one another. Wear your mask, social distance when appropriate, wash your hands. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy. I hope everybody has enjoyed the stream. Bye, everybody.